This is a public service announcement. Warning, Antifa has now been caught using the N-word, hitting women, attacking disabled veterans, brandishing weapons of war, throwing explosives into a crowd of children. What will Antifa do next? If you see an Antifa near you, be sure to protect yourself because they could go wild at a moment's notice. This is a public service announcement from Infowars.com.
Well. Trump has dared to do something truly outrageous. He met with a foreign leader to discuss foreign policy. Now, as you probably know, Trump has been on sort of a European tour, and he met with Vladimir Putin yesterday to have a normal meeting and discuss certain issues, like the alleged Russian hacking of the 2016 election. But liberals didn't take the meeting too well. They were outraged. Brian Stelter, who runs the most ironically named show ever, Reliable Sources, decried Trump, saying Trump simply cannot be trusted. And Stephen Colbert and Jimmy Kimmel mocked President Trump, calling Vladimir Putin his KGB BFF. Kimmel said, "Is it possible Vladimir Putin brought a hypnotist to that meeting instead of a translator? We haven't seen an American so owned by a Russian since Rocky IV." Now, I actually thought Trump did a good job in the summit, especially when he was asked a tough question by, I believe it was a reporter, on the German-Russian oil relationship. And he talked to the Germans. I feel good about this as well. He said, "You're too reliant on Russian oil. The Russians are controlling you." So Trump didn't seem that too pro-Russia to me. He said, Russia, you're a competitor. We respect you as a competitor, and we want to do business with you. We don't want to be hostile. We don't want another Cold War. But we're not best buddies by any stretch of the imagination. And that's what it seemed like to me. Trump didn't go out of his way to kneel down and kiss Vladimir Putin's boot. It just seemed like a normal meeting on foreign policy to me. But let's go to the tape of Jimmy Kimmel assessing what went on with his vast knowledge of political decorum. Let's go to the clip.
Helsinki has frozen over. The President of the United States today publicly sided with Russia over our own FBI on the subject of cyber attacks on our election campaign.
Now, at a first glance, that sounds really bad. Why would President Trump side against America's own intelligence agency, the Federal Bureau of Investigation? Why would he not trust them? Why would he find the FBI untrustworthy? Let's go to a clip of the hearing with Trey Gowdy and Peter Strzok.
So you hadn't interviewed anyone. You're investigating this alleged Russian collusion with the Trump campaign. You're the lead investigator. You originated the investigation. You're the point of contact. You drafted the document. And here you are before you've interviewed a single solitary witness saying F Trump. Then that same day, your colleague, Lisa Page, wrote, "Maybe you're meant to protect the country from that menace."
Let's pause.
And you responded, "I can."
There's more. That's not just it. We're going to keep on going through it. But just think about it. That's one of the people that works with the FBI, that works for the FBI, who works on the Trump-Russia case. Clearly biased, a clear liberal. He goes on to say in another clip that we don't have just yet, I forgot to add it into the report file today, that Hillary should win 1,000,000 to 1. And I'm not going to spoil the rest of the tape for those who haven't seen it, because we are going to go in and talk about it. But absolutely ridiculous. You have an FBI official, and a lot of the FBI officials are biased, just like this guy, and they're having an entire congressional hearing about it because this man is so biased. He's handling the case, and let's keep on rolling tape.
Protect the country at many levels. We're not even a week into an investigation that you originated, approved, were the contact for. You hadn't interviewed a single solitary soul until August 11th, and you're already promising to protect the country from that menace, Donald Trump. And then on August the 8th, you still hadn't interviewed anyone. You're 8 days into your Russian collusion with the Trump campaign investigation, and you got another text from your colleague, Lisa Page. "Trump's not ever going to become president, right? Right?" And you replied, "No, he's not. We'll stop it."
Pause.
By the time you...
So, one thing's for sure. an ex FBI deputy, some sort of what's his official title, Zimmerman? Can we go back to the clip just so we can read his official title? Former Deputy Assistant Director and current FBI agent Peter Strzok said that he would stop Donald Trump. There's no maybe there. There's no maybe he was doing this, like maybe the Russians colluded, maybe the Russians hacked the election. No, it's definite because it's there in the text messages. Peter Strzok hates Trump and said, we'll stop him. That's not maybe. That's not an if-when statement. That's not conditional. That happened. Peter Strzok wants to stop Trump. Why would Trump then not trust his own FBI? It kind of makes sense to me why he wouldn't trust someone that says he's going to stop him and then he's an effing bad guy. It makes sense to me just listening to the tape, and let's keep on rolling it if there's any more. But I think we're done with the tape. Are we done with the tape, Turman?
Promised to stop him from becoming president on August the 8th. How many interviews had you conducted?
Mr. Gowdy, so two answers to that. One, with regard to how many interviews had or had not been conducted, I have been directed by counsel for the FBI not to answer that question.
Oh, isn't that convenient?
Second, sir, I think it's important to take those texts in the context of how they were written and what they meant.
And someone may ask you
that's very convenient for you, Mr. Peter Strzok. It's very convenient. It's very convenient that you're going to plead the fifth on that one. It's very convenient that you don't want to answer the question. It's very convenient that you want to undermine Trump. It's very convenient that the liberal media wants to say that Trump colluded with the Russians. It's very convenient. It's not very convenient for the liberal media and for this man here to mention the truth and mention the facts. It's just convenient for them to lie and lie and lie because that's what they do best. And let's keep on rolling tape. I believe we've got like 10 seconds left. Excuse me? That was it. So that's it for the tape. I want you to really let that sink in. A leading FBI official promised to stop Trump in a text message. He was managing at the time the Trump-Russia collusion case. I mean, it's a true example of how animus and personal bias can truly sway an investigation. I mean, I don't know what's going on. I'm not an FBI agent, but looking like from the hearing that I saw on C-SPAN, it looks like that guy has a very clear bias towards President Trump. And it's clear that the media does it as well. And we saw this during the election cycle, and we're seeing it even more now. It is insane. They would have never dared question President Obama, the people at CNN, the people at MSNBC, and the people at Jezebel. They wouldn't have dared to question a Democratic president or even a moderate Republican that did what the establishment wanted him to do. Trump comes in like a wrecking ball, helping our economy, helping our military, making sure that other countries pay their fair share in NATO and everyone gets outraged. It makes zero sense. Trump is doing his job. He's making America stronger. He's putting America first. The stock market's doing wonderfully. And they cannot stop complaining, and they won't stop complaining. If President Trump created the most prosperous America ever, let's say, I'm going to give hyperbole. I'm going to give an example. If President Trump, he totally erased the national debt, the leftists would find a way to make it bad. If President Trump stopped all crime, the leftists would find a way to make it bad. They'd find a way for it to be a somehow sexist act. Well, he doesn't want women committing crimes. They would find, I'm joking here, but I'm being partially serious. They find a way, no matter what Trump does, even if he misspells something on his Twitter, to demonize him and call him an idiot and call him a racist. Trump is doing a good job, and these liberals just can't stand it. Like when he went to London, I saw numerous examples of this on Snapchat. There's a little section for news, and that's where a lot of teenagers get their news, and it's quite alarming. I'm going to get into that in another report I have planned soon. Trump walked in front of the Queen and didn't seem to be super respectful during I guess it was a ceremony or something that they were conducting. Seemed pretty casual to me. The Queen and Trump are walking down the lawn, and apparently Trump's supposed to stay behind her and like bow to her and stuff. But you see, the London mayor, Khan, he had approved a giant 20-foot baby Trump balloon. And as a city official, he thought that was appropriate. For when a foreign leader, foreign power is visiting, you obviously want to disrespect them. And you know what? I want to commend Trump on standing up to the liberal bias that even people that this London mayor had towards him. And I want to commend him for putting our country first and walking forward instead of bowing down. I want to commend Trump for that. And just when you see late night comedians demonize Trump, when you see the liberal media assault him with their words and with their actions, you've got to stand up for our country. You got to stand up for our president, because regardless your own political views, you've got to realize that there is bias towards President Trump. I'm a libertarian. I believe in smaller government. I haven't agreed with 100% of what Trump's done. I've agreed with like 85% of it. I think he's doing a great job overall. But you got to support people that stand up to the liberal bias. And in the media, Trump has shown that with the fake news and showing the true amount of fake news that we have today, with CNN just spewing out hateful lies, same with MSNBC and HuffPo, just the true liberal bias. And I guess the last thing I want to say to you today is, I've said this in a lot of my reports, and I think it's a very important thing, is that you should get out there and make your own voices heard. Start your own YouTube channel, and who knows, buy a website, start your own news organization, and get your views out there, because that's what's important, is spreading the news of truth and liberty and light. And I feel like that's what Trump is doing. I'm Rex Jones from Infowars.com, and if you're receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
We all know that the outside toxins in the water is a serious health issue. InfoWars is proud to sell incredible filters, but it's almost impossible to keep up with every faucet, shower, and sink in your home. That's why we're bringing you something to provide clean water for your whole house with one system. The ProPure Whole House Water Filtration System is an advanced 4-stage compact filtration system that will provide water filtration for your entire home, removing 220 plus contaminants from your water. It's compact in size, easy to install and maintain, and keeps fluoride and other dangerous toxins out of your water supply and away from you and your family. With its broad spectrum contaminant reduction, you'll only need this one filter for clean and refreshing water all over your home. Head to InfoWarsStore.com, and whether it's your first water filtration purchase or you're looking to replace your current rundown systems, it's time to go big and go home with the ProPure Whole House Filtration System today.